warming up the rotator cuffs because, as I'm sure you've seen by the title of this video, I've injured myself. Probably due to lack of warming up. So, well, not really. I hurt my knee doing leg press. Top set leg press, but halfway through the set, felt a little something, nothing major. Finished the set, fine. Then when I went to do my back off set, felt a little sensitive and weird. So I just thought, right, I'm not pushing any harder. Sort of left any squatting or pressing for the rest of the session. Next morning when I woke up, literally like couldn't walk, whole knee had like seized up really badly, just sort of swollen and like really inflamed. So iced it loads, kept it compressed. Day after it's a lot better. So that was a while ago. I've done loads of tissue work with my sports therapist since. It's going to be fine, I reckon, in about a week and a half. So going to take next week off legs, just give it time to heal. It's my right knee. And then it should be fine. Don't think I tore anything. Don't think I did anything major. So sorry for clickbaiting, but there was a point where I thought I'd properly done it in. Then I realised I was just being dramatic, and it's not that bad. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to have to take it dead sensitive, dead careful, because it is still pretty sensitive. Like if I squat down all the way to like a really deep range of motion, it will then hurt badly for the next 2 hours. If it becomes more of an issue after a week, I will go and see a specialist for the knee, maybe get it scanned just to double check. But an MRI is like 500-600 quid, so I'd like to avoid that if possible. And I'm not going on a wait list for the NHS because then I'll get it scanned this time in 2 years. So yeah, that's where we're up to. But I'm going to warm up the shoulders first. I'll catch you up with the post-Prague antics because Tom is not happy with me, and rightly so. So we'll get into that in a bit. So in Prague, I was, as you've seen, I was doing a lot of steps, like 20,000, 25,000 a day, and I was not eating enough food. I lost quite a bit of weight, 12 pounds. Not what you want, so you know that's on me. I take responsibility. Sorry, Tom. So we're back up like 6 pounds already since getting back. It's only been a few days, so we'll come back on quick. It is just flatness, right? I just lost a load of water weight, basically. Not a bad thing, but again, at this stage, I want to make sure food's pretty high, body weight's, you know, holding high as we're approaching prep. So I've obviously got Hamburg and Vienna coming up. So just putting things in place now to make sure it doesn't happen again, i.e. meal prep companies and shit like that. I have to just sort all my meal prep, hopefully, when I'm out there. And when I'm in Vienna, I'm going to book an apartment so I can actually cook. Because that was the issue in Prague, is didn't have anywhere else to cook. So yeah, we are down a few pounds, so strength is a little worse off. We're also obviously slightly in a health phase now, ahead of prep. So off season has sort of finished in that sense, but we kind of want to be holding body weight around 250. I was 244 this morning, so not far off. We'll be back to 250, honestly, within a week's time. So yeah, it's just about holding that, and then I am so fucking excited to prep. I cannot wait. So we're looking forward to that. Pretty much a month from now, we'll be pulling the trigger and getting after it. So my whole coaching thing, obviously that is the majority of my income. That's what I do for a living. I'm a bodybuilder, but I'm also pretty much a full-time coach. I brought Harry on, so a lot of you know Harry. He's now my co-coach, so he's taking people on for a lower price point than what I charge. So any young ones out there who I wanted to get into coaching, I wanted to be a part of the team, like Harry's now your guy. It's the same service I offer. I oversee everything as well, but just Harry take control of that. So that's exciting. The link's in my bio if you want to look at that, but yeah, a lot of business moves. I'm still having 75 grams of intra carbs, and I'll be honest, I don't mix with enough water. I don't like to chug water when I train. A lot of people do like 1.5 liters. I'll be honest, that's probably better for you, doing that much water, because you lose a lot of water through sweat. Obviously when it's hot, I do more, but right now, it's fucking miserable outside, it's cold. I do about, I think it's just 750. Yeah, so that's 700, so 750ml water, really, with 75 grams of carbs. So it is kind of like drinking syrup. Not the nicest, but needs to get the fuel in, and I don't like chugging water, so I am looking forward to when carbs are lower and I don't have to drink syrup whilst training. I should go straight into it. My delts are throbbing. Oh, right, done on there. Gonna find some form of chest press to do. Again, 3 sets, slightly lighter than normal. Obviously I was at Prague. Obviously you've seen my initial response to Chris not winning. I am slightly biased, obviously. As a bodybuilding fan, I much prefer shape and condition over size. Always have, always will. Probably why I prefer classic to the open in terms of the look. I am and always will be like a big fan of the open, love it. But all my favourites are the guys like Phil, who are crazy detailed in condition. Just the way I prefer, as a lot of other people do. So that's why me would have Chris winning. I think what I said, so I still think the scorecards are surprising in that they had Martin clearly ahead for both prejudging and finals. To me, it just doesn't correlate. Even on stage, like, they had Chris in the centre and never moved him. And yet, Martin was ahead. So I think they personally did that just to build a little bit more hype. Fair enough. There's no set rule that says whoever's in the middle is winning. That's just generally who we think. So it is what it is. But I think Martin won the Sunday night in retrospect, having calmed down and looked. Martin won Sunday, but Chris clearly won Saturday. And I think the difference on Saturday was bigger than the difference on Sunday, as in Chris was further ahead Saturday than Martin was ahead Sunday. But in bodybuilding, they do give more weight to finals. So yeah, I think if Martin showed up Saturday like he did Sunday, I wouldn't disagree as much. I just think that Martin was so off on the Saturday. Chris was the most consistent and, in my opinion, the best bodybuilder there. But he did lose the back shots, obviously. Will we see Chris again? Who fucking knows? I don't think he will come back personally. I think he's going to have another kid fairly soon. Then he'll have two children, and he'll be a happy father, and he'll just do business ventures. And I think he's going to put a lot of money into the classic physique division in terms of prize money. I don't think he's ever going to put shows on himself, because I don't think he enjoys that side of bodybuilding that much. I think he'd much rather just put his name on something else, let them all sort it, and he'd just hand out the paycheck. So for the Olympia, I think he's going to massively boost the prize money, which is going to be cool to see. So thanks, Chris, for everything you've done for bodybuilding. Try not to glaze him too hard, because I got told off by my own editor and videographer for glazing Chris too hard last video. Right, third set. Fucking Wesley's fucked up here, right? Wesley's gonna watch this and be like, shit, I'm gonna have created a monster. I've done 9 working sets after this one, only 3 exercises. I'm gonna mutate. I might finally have some muscle, rather than just doing ego lift and top set, back off sets. Does Prague impact Chris's legacy? I think it adds to it, because I think regardless of the result, you know, what the judges say is one thing. I think the overall general thought process is that Chris won it. I think a lot of the fans think that. Everybody who was at Prague thought that. The atmosphere was very much that. Emily was obviously in Prague. She's trying to get the car keys now because she's got it to work. Who won, Chris or Martin?
Huh?
Who won, Chris or Martin? Are you speaking to the mic? Come on.
In my opinion, who I think won?
Yeah.
Chris.
Good. She's not getting a backhand later. That's a joke. Don't hit your wife. Girlfriend.
Why?
Cut. I think because of the fact that it wasn't, Chris didn't clearly lose. It was very, very close. Could have gone either way, I think, is the general thought process. I think that adds to the mystique, and I think for the next however long, Chris will, every time we're like building up hype to the Olympia, Chris will put a post up, a story up, that'll hint at his return, and his engagement will go through the roof, his business will boom, and it's what Kai Green and Phil, what mainly Kai Green did. So Kai, I don't think he's competed since like 2013, 14. Even last year, Kai always hints at a return to the Olympia because it boosts his engagement, gets more views to his profile, and ultimately makes him more money. Very smart, and it's always cool to have more hype in the industry and shit like that. So I think everyone's now going to be like, oh, if Chris actually took an off season and actually trained for Open, because he's been holding himself back for God knows how many years, he would kill everybody, in my opinion. If he actually trained for Open, he'd kill everybody. I think everybody knows that, and I think the mystique of knowing that kind of just adds to it. Like, the guy didn't need to compete in Open, and he did, because he just loves it, and he wants to do it for the fans. And everybody who's like, oh no, how can he walk away? Now he's come fourth, now he's very closely pushed fourth in the world in Open. It's like, if Chris wanted to still compete, guys, he would just keep winning Classic Physique. There's a reason he's retiring, it's because he's sort of closing that chapter in his life. So I don't think he wants to compete anymore, regardless of where he could place. He probably knows himself, if he trained for Open, he'd probably win the Open. He just doesn't want that, so, you know, props to him. If I were him, I'd just be hitting it hard until I was about 50 and people were begging me to retire because I was shit now. So, you know, he's a better champ than I've been. Guess what? Not 2, 3. I had to really think about doing 3 then. 3 sets on here as well. I'm hungry. I want it. When I win the Olympia next year, not this year it's already been. When I win the Olympia next year, just cut back to this moment. And it's when the penny drops and I start doing 3 sets, not 2, that's when it will change. So, Seabum retired because he saw this coming. Right, we'll do probably still in 2 more sets. Right, we just found a rogue dumbbell in the gym and we're like, we should use this for that vintage video. I've never seen this in here before. I'll probably leave that there because we've got arms tomorrow. This is what I mean by my splits messed up, right? Normally, this should be my posterior day, where it's just back and hamstrings, no arms. Next week it will be. I've had to take 2 weeks to slowly rotate through, correcting it 1 week at a time. So the unfortunate thing today is that I've just had to hit triceps, and I've got arms tomorrow. But we'll just slightly bicep, more bicep, and it'll be fine. Because I need more bicep anyway. I probably will go and do some posing today, but I've not posed for YouTube in quite some time. And this video is probably not long enough, so I'll go and pose to drag it out. Right, that is push wrapped up. Bit of a quicker session, really, for myself, but as I said, high volume, short rest times. I'm crippled now, so a very successful session. I think going more towards that style of training right now where I'm at is probably the smarter approach, just because my joints are taking a battering at this point. As we're heading into a health phase as well, I want to keep the intensity and keep the sort of total load lifted where it is without risking injury this close to prep, because the knee was sort of a nice wake up where it's not actually severe, but enough to sort of make me think twice about doing a heavier set. So I think we're literally only about 4 weeks now until prep starts. I am starting prep potentially a little bit later. I think I'll be 13 or 14, probably 13 or 12 weeks out actually when I start prep. Typically I'd probably prep from 14. So, you know, I'm probably starting prep 2 weeks later than I did for the pro qual, but I was ready quite early for the pro qual. So with that data in mind, and also with the time period it is, like, it allows me to have Christmas and then just straight head down and get to work. So as soon as prep starts, he's going to be pretty much fucking going for it, which is nice because it's you know, all or nothing is the easier way to be rather than tiptoeing into it. So I'm very excited for that. As I said, we've got 2 more trips coming up, which will make for, I think I'm going to try and get 2 videos from each place we go to. So you've got 3 videos from Prague, you'll get 2 from Hamburg and 2 from Vienna as well, which is going to keep the YouTube slightly more interesting as we head to prep. And then when it's prep, obviously we shut it down and it'll just be training food, but more exciting because I'll be in shape. So look forward to that one. Cheers for watching. See you in the next one.